Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm very happy that I can share my story, the case of the missing spectacles. I'm sure many of you will be wondering what all this is about. A little bit of background before I go into the actual story. As you can see, I am short-sighted, right? Which means I wear spectacles. My power is 500 in the right eye and 550 in the left eye. This means that if I were to remove my spectacles, well, I can see the big picture, but I cannot see the details. I'm sure you have also heard the advice. Always put your important items in one place at a designated place or spot. For example, your wallet, your smartphone, your keys, and also your spectacles. Now, I'm one person who totally disregard this advice. So, in my house, which is a condo unit, because I live alone, therefore, whenever I feel like putting my things, I just put my things. Like for example, if I walk to the couch, I want to put my phone there, I just put my phone there. If I am in the toilet, I feel like taking off my specs, I take off my specs. I can put my specs anywhere. So, with this not so good habit, you can expect that from time to time there will be episodes of the missing spectacles. So from time to time, I cannot find my specs because you need to see to locate your specs. And since I'm short-sighted, I cannot see my spectacles. So from time to time, maybe a few times per month, I cannot find my spectacles. So I have to screen, walking through the house and trying to locate my spectacles. So that happens from time to time, a few times per month maybe. Normally, I can locate my specs after one round of searching, sometimes 2 rounds, or if I still cannot find my specs, I will put on my emergency contact lenses in order to locate my spectacles as the last resort. So normally, I can find my specs after maybe 5 minutes or so, until this particular incident in the story, the case of the missing spectacles. On that particular day, I remember my parents visited me. My parents live in Klang. So from time to time, because they are very free, they are retired, they don't have any work to do. So they will come to Petaling Jaya to visit me. So on that particular day, they came. So as usual, they stayed from 10 a.m. to about 3 p.m. So they left. So the case started at about 5 p.m. that day. My specs were missing. So I expected the usual thing, the usual process of looking for my spectacles. So I searched one round. After the first round, I could not find my specs. So the second round, I would be a bit more detailed, look more carefully, and I still could not find my specs. So I had no choice, I put on my contact lenses, but guess what? I still could not find my specs, even with my contact lenses. Oh, so this is really turning into a crisis, So I told myself, now you need to do a thorough search. Actually, before that, I remembered my parents came. So I was wondering whether they might have accidentally taken my specs back to Klang. So I called my parents. And they did not take my specs. And they were very sure. So there I was with no specs. So what I did, I told myself, now you have to calm down, you have to search carefully. Okay. So I started with my bedroom. Started with the countertop. So this time, with my contact lenses on, I had to search inch by inch, I searched the surface, I searched the drawers, each container in the drawer. I looked at the shelves above. I looked inside the wardrobes, in between the clothes. I looked on the bed, under the bed, of course, and also in between the mattress and the bed frame. It would be very strange if my specs was inside there, but no choice. I had to do a thorough search, okay, because I cannot find. Search. Specs was not in the bedroom. Then I searched the 2 toilets. Toilet, of course. The toilet, not much in the toilet, but I looked in the toilet bowl also in case, just in case. Okay. So my specs were not in both the toilets. Of course, I looked into the pails, everything lah. Okay. No specs. Then I move on to my home office. So in the home office, there were more items. The bookshelves, the shelf for the folders, the table for the desktop, the table for the 2 printers. Everywhere I searched, on the floor, on the ceiling, I searched. In between the books, but there was no specs to be found. Okay. Next, I move on to the main, the common area, the so-called hall. Then I searched the sofas, what do you call that? The coffee table, the shelf for all the items, all the souvenirs that I bought from overseas. Each time I went on a trip, all those animals like orang-utan, got tiger, got elephant, everything. Search there. Search the TV top, the TV cabinet, inside the drawers, all cannot find. No specs. Finally, pantry area. I searched. I even opened the refrigerator. Inside the refrigerator. Even the freezer also. All the containers of food, chicken, beef, what lah. But no spectacles to be found. And finally, I searched the dryad. There was still no specs to be found. Okay, so finally, I was so exhausted, I sat down and I was thinking, trying to analyze the situation. Where are my spectacles? Okay. After a long analytical process, I decided, I know why my specs are missing. There must be a ghost in the house. There must be a ghost in the house. So my speech qualifies for mystery and also mystical, right? There must be a ghost in the house. There must be some supernatural activity here. Otherwise, why would my specs be gone? Okay. Then that was the conclusion. So finally, I decided, just go to bed early, The next day, go to the optometrist to make a new pair of specs. Then, soon after that, as I was walking, suddenly, okay. Okay. Guess, okay, who can guess? Make an intelligent guess. Where did my specs reappear? Huh? Sorry?
On the ground.
Yes, on the ground, but from where? From where?
From my head.
No, there was a sound. It dropped. Like this. What happened?
You break.
Bed?
Break.
Wait, what do you mean?
Break broken.
Well, no. Okay. What happened was, it was suspended between the three-seater sofa and the leg rest. Because the leg rest, I don't put the leg rest in front of the sofa because I don't use it. I put it beside the sofa. So it's like the sofa is like adjacent to it, touching, you know. There's one here on the right, one on the left. And my specs, it fell in between, but it didn't fall to the ground. If it had fallen to the floor, I would have found it. But it was like suspended in between. And I didn't separate the two when I was searching. So finally, my spectacles reappeared. After, I think, a few hours actually. Okay. So what's the lesson from this case? The mystery of the missing spectacles. The lesson is, no matter how clever we are, sometimes we are stupid. Just because I could not find my specs, I decided that is a ghost. Of course, I know. Some people claim to have seen ghosts and so on. But since I did not, I have never, I cannot make such a big conclusion just based on me not being able to find my specs. I should have concluded there is some reason that the specs is somewhere. I just haven't found the specs. And not suddenly change my worldview, There is supernatural activity in the house. And the ghost has taken my spectacles. So therefore, gentlemen, I think we have to assess ourselves. And, sometimes we think we are very smart. But sometimes when we are stressed, we can make wrong decisions. So I think my story is an example. So I'm so embarrassed. I actually really seriously think there was a ghost in my house. Just because I could not find my specs for a few hours. Okay, so that's my story, the mystery of the missing spectacle. Thank you very much.